Wife met up with guy that has expressed feelings for her then lied for a while about it. Do I leave? I had just got out of the army and started doing contract security work for 30 days on and 15 off. My wife was living in a house given to us by her mom and I in GA, and I was working in TX and driving back to GA at the end of every rotation. We kept the communication going well. At first I would call to wake her up for work and we would talk while drinking coffee over FaceTime getting ready for the day, and she would call and talk to me about her day on her way home from work. We never missed a call. During one of my rotations I started noticing slight differences in our communication patterns. When I would call some mornings she wouldn't answer until she was already in her car and on the way to work and was too stressed out to talk to me for long. Following that was the evening conversations. For instance, the calls would be made from her right as she got off and the day was just too stressful and she needed to listen to music on the way home and would offer to call me when she got home and unwound. I was cool with it because we just went through a big move and I figured she might be overwhelmed with everything going on with her new job and family, etc. So I was trying to be as patient and understanding as possible while still attempting to keep the communication flowing. Until those calls when she got home never happened, and then I wouldn't get a call until the next morning on her way to work, with the same cycle of I fell asleep when I got home and overslept. I've been so exhausted from work. This went on for a week before the incident with this guy. Slight rewind before I get into the situation with this dude. While we were still living together at the base I was stationed at before moving to GA, I overheard what I perceived as a flirty conversation with this guy from our hometown at midnight while she thought I was asleep because I had a big brief the next morning very early. I didn't handle it the best, I'll admit. I felt like something was going on, and she eventually ended up convincing me after I talked to the guy that they didn't look at each other like that and just had a good friendship and hadn't been in touch in a while. We both agreed that if she were in my shoes at the time she wouldn't have appreciated it either and it would not be a problem anymore. I was okay with it, slightly still miffed about it, but was able to move on and trust that she was honest to me about it. A few weeks later we went on leave and went back to our hometown in GA to see family before I went on my final and ugliest deployment. While in GA we went to our favorite taco spot and she recognized him and informed me that was him, and I said, "Good, let's say hey." I was friendly to the guy, shook his hand firmly and looked him in the eyes before she says, "Hey stranger," and gives him a big hug. The way he looked at her after this, I could tell he looked at her as more than a friend. I addressed these concerns and she reassured me he may look at her like that, but she does not view him the same way. I swallowed it and told her I trust you, and I did, so I brushed it off. Now back up to speed to the rotation where I noticed the communication changes. I started addressing the shift in communication I had noticed along with the location services we both used for assurance to start out of nowhere not work properly. I had begun to convince myself I was going